Hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome to a Saturday afternoon Tabletop Gold live stream, video game live stream on Twitch. My name is Lars Castine. Nice to see you today on this beautiful, crisp fall day. If you're in the same part of the world that I am, that's New York City that I'm coming to you from right now. My name's Lars. I'm the host and GM of a tabletop RPG actual play podcast called Tabletop Gold. And in addition to producing a show every week, Pathfinder 2nd Edition actual play podcast, we also stream some games on Twitch from time to time, usually games focused on the tabletop game side of things. What we're going to play today is a game called Citizen Sleeper. It's a game about being about having your consciousness put into a robot that is slowly dying on a space station in the far-flung future, and you survive by rolling dice and assigning them to complete various tasks. It's a stressful game. It's an interesting way to spend a Saturday afternoon. It's not my typical. What's the thing? There's a famous clip of Kelsey Grammer at doing a presentation at some event, right, where he's on stage and there's a crowd of people and he's talking about his areas of expertise, and he says, well, and then there's this topic which is not my typical métier, and then he trips and falls off the stage. Have you seen that clip? Anybody seen that video? Anyway, I was just about to say that so playing a stressful game like Citizen Sleeper is not my typical métier for Saturday afternoon. But then, in order for me to receive my just desserts for using a word like that, I would need to then immediately fall off of a stage. And as you can see, there's no stage here to be seen. So that's why I held myself back from saying such a word. Is this making any sense? Could be. Who knows? Enjoying some delicious water. I typically would be streaming on Saturday afternoons, an hour later. I typically start at 2 p.m., but I have a barbecue to go to later today, and I need to leave and go to that thing before I'm able to be too early for a 2 p.m. start time to work. And also, I typically stream on Saturday afternoons with one Armat Humphreys. At Armat, I don't know where he is. I think it's possible he's at a Renaissance festival, what they call a Ren Fair, with an E on the end of it. So he is right now stuck in the distant past, while I'm about to be spending some time in the distant future. And with that idiotic preamble out of the way, what do you say we start playing this darn game? Let me just see if I can get that. There we go. That's working. Let's transition that over. We are once again enjoying the contemplative tones of this wonderful music in this game. This game has great music beds accompanying every part of it. This title sequence being no different. So you can hear the low frequency rumble of our Starborn crate that my character lives inside of, and also this like nostalgic sort of damaged synthesizer music happening at the same time. It's an aesthetic that I enjoy, that I love, and without any yeah, Mike, he is not our Matt anymore. Hey, so it looks like I screwed something up because the chat's not showing up on the screen, baby. Let's see if that fixes that. Let's do a little test. Let's test-a-roo. Weird. Let's keep fiddling around with that and see if we can get it to work. I'm gonna just say random words now and see if that does anything for me. It turns out that I may have no idea what it is that I'm doing. I wish that I knew what I wish I understood how anything works, is what the thing that I want. Okay, I think that I need to rearrange this guy. Let's put that up there. There we go. Okay, boom. Chat, back in action. Yeah, I turned it on again. I turned it off again. The thing is, I actually, before starting this stream, I resized this whole frickin' overlay that you're seeing right now because I noticed looking back at the stream, which is archived on YouTube.com, a Google, an Alphabet company. I blocked too much text with the way that I had all these windows set up, so I sort of shoved stuff around, and I don't know. We're gonna see if it works any better. Enough nonsense for me. Here's something to tell you. At the beginning of the game, you have the choice between playing like an operator, a machinist, or an extractor. I believed that I was choosing to play as an operator, and I went back and watched. I chose to play as an extractor. So the character that I'm playing as is he's a tough guy. He's a heavy machinery guy who can endure things. Do you hear this transitional tones they do? Can you believe the sound in this game? Can you imagine? Can you imagine making something cool? Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, I think I may need to resize my, I need to resize my GD gameplay. Guys, I'm all over the map right now. There's a lot of things that I should have done before going live that I did not do. Bang. How's that? That's better. That's good. That's better. That's cheese. That's cheddar. Okay. Here's what I remember. I have 2 4s and a 3 that I need to spend here on this nightmare of a linear space station or whatever. 3s and 4s are a little bit tricky because they don't guarantee any great outcomes. So they should, generally speaking, in my opinion, be used on tasks that are not so dangerous. Because I don't want to get hurt. I love having all of these dice to work with, and if I get hurt, I will have fewer dice to work with tomorrow, and I don't like that. So, I can go to this place, the unit assembly of the Sidereal Horizon assembly line. I guess the name of this space station is the Sidereal Horizon, but everybody calls it the Eye. Does that make sense? So let's just look at our options before we dive in, because we got to refamiliarize ourselves with this whole kit and also the caboodle. So, okay, so here's the situation. I can either use engineering or interface to get promoted here at the Sidereal Horizon, fucking whatever this place is. But if I screw it up multiple times, the quality control meter kicks me out. So this is a safe clock, a safe deal. If this is too much noise, let me know. Too much audio, let me know. It feels like it might be a little bit hot. I'm going to bump it back slightly. This like venting steam sound is sort of blowing me out of my chair right now. Chances are I'm going to be going the welder's mate direction, since I am a, whatever the hell it is that I am. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually getting a little irritated by how loud everything is. Well, whatever. Great. Who cares? So that's option 1. Unit assembly, try to get promoted there. Havenage, Neovend. No, wait, sorry. There's so many words in this game. Havenage offices. I can input Yatagan data. I have Havenage data, not Yatagan data. So this is a place that I can liquidate some of the assets that I get from hacking. Got it. Fangs Bay, this is this dude that I'm trying to help by giving him data. He wants Solheim data, not Havenage data. Havenage, I imagine, is the corporation that actually runs the... I don't know. I don't know who Solheim or who Havenage are yet. I think that maybe we'll get more details about that soon. This is my home. Somebody is hunting me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles before I get hunted to death. So, keep that in mind. Here's Dragos' yard. This is our friend Dragos, who busted us out of cryosleep or whatever. And we can try to do this safe Intuit action, which Intuit is my bad skill. Or I can take this dangerous engineer action, engineer being a thing that I do not have any particular aptitude for or against. Next on the docket, we've got this clock, which is ticking down the arrival of a spaceship. There's this lady who owns the ambergris, and I can either try to get it working again through either interface or engineer. Interface locked out. I've started investing in interface. So if I complete another quest of these 3 million quests that I have to do, if I complete another one of those, I can put another upgrade point into interface and make this available to me. So I'm sort of slow playing that. This doesn't have a clock that's automatically advancing, but it does seem that if I screw this up enough times, I will ground the ambergris. And I don't want to do that because the lady that runs that spaceship seems cool. There's this bar. I can spend cryo to buy rations, which will boost my energy. My energy is currently full because I am awesome at this game. I've got the sealed dock. I can sell data to the vending machine, which has a computer ghost stuck inside of it. It's a vending machine that reminds me of my past as a person before I put my brain into a goddamn computer. And it also is a vending machine that has a ghost in it, like a computerized refugee who's being hunted by the various hunter-killers who are coming for me, I should perhaps mention. So in a way, this vending machine is the character that I have most in common with, reminding me both of my character's past and my character's potential nightmarish future, living like a dork inside of a vending machine. I sort of feel like I'm saying random words, but they do make sense if you saw last week's stream. I've got this endure deal that I want to try sorry, let's take a step back. What the hell is this place? This is scrapping freight from the Hellion. I wish that they would keep the name of the location on after I clicked on it. But anyway, I can try to endure the vacuum of space by unloading these containers, and if I do so, I will get something good, I guess. And then up here we've got the fun zone. I don't know. I can either sell components, which I don't have. This is like the stock market. Or I can play the stock market using Intuit. Intuit, again, is my bad skill because I am more of a heavy machinery guy than being a smarty pants guy. And then there's Sabine's surgery, where there is this doctor who I can give lots of money to in exchange for and a health refill. Which I don't need to tell you why that's good. How's this audio mix? Is there too much juice coming out of the game? Too little juice? What are my juice levels? How are you feeling about the sort of gestalt of juiciness for this stream? Let me know. And then, yeah, the currency in this game is cryo, which they say specifically is a cryptocurrency. So this just accepts as a foregone conclusion that cryptocurrency is going to be the way that we do things in the future. But there also is like a little bit of social commentary about how like this is a little bit of a company town. Everybody is sort of spending company dollars at company-owned things. That is an unjust place with a critique of of hypercapitalism baked into it. And then we got this dude up here, Emphas, who sells fungus. I'm trying to make friends with him, but I have tons of energy, and the fungus gives me tons of energy. So now is not the time. So I've got these 2 4s and a 3. Oh, sorry, friends. Let me also tell you about cyberspace. In addition to that bullshit, there's this like network overlay that I can look at, where I can go to various agents and various key nodes to try to hack data that then you saw some of the locations where that data is, usable. So I've got 2 3s and a 4. Every time I use one of these network options, this hunter gets closer and closer to me. And if that hunter hits me, I think I probably die and have to live inside of a vending machine, like our poor friend, the vending machine guy. Neovend, we call him. I am so what this sort of hacking computer overlay portion of the game is, I think from a gameplay perspective, is a kind of like heat sink for me to dump my bad rolls. You'll see that most of these have 1s and 2s. There is that one Solheim, though, that Solheim node up here that's asking for a 4. That's potentially a bad use of a 4, but I have 2 4s and don't have many good uses of 4s. So I'm going to choose to do that because our friend Fang is looking for Solheim data. So let's frickin' go. And let's extract some data. Solheim data, I got it. And now the hunter is up to 3 pips instead of 2. So, theoretically, I can take that Solheim data and dump it on Fang to help him out, as we're hoping to scope the systems for him. Hopefully this next thing that Fang wants is... Okay, we got a neutral outcome, plus 15... Yeah, we got the outcome that we were going to get. So we transferred the data to Fang, and he hands me a stack of chits and waves me off. Fantastic. So, Neovend wants me to extract hunter data for him. Oh, I guess that's why there's this hunter nest here. I see. So let's see if any of these hunter nests map onto dice that I have. So, Mike, you can do as many actions in a day as you have dice. The number of dice that you get at the beginning of a day is determined by where your health bar is. So, like right now, I've just gotten some new stabilizer for my body, which is decaying at a steady pace due to a planned obsolescence from the manufacturer that built it. So, I'm at full health right now, which means I get all 5 dice. As I get lower and lower on health, the number of dice that I get will go down. That one's a 2. Okay, so I need... Let's just make sure that we know. So I want a 2 for this hunter nest, a 1 for this hunter nest. So I need either a 1 or a 2. But Fang, again, I'm a little bit nervous about spending more time in here until I get 1s and 2s. I think that I want to progress this hunter thing for Neovend first before I go too much further on Fang, but maybe I should just do it. If I take care of Fang, I'll get another... I'm just going to do it. We're going to see if there's a place that I can get Solheim data. This one wants a 2, so that's a no. Okay, no Solheim data to be had. So that answers that question. So we can scrap freight. Let's do a little bit of that. This is a dangerous thing where I have a +1, so that gives me a 50% neutral and a 50% positive. And this, because I get a +1 to this, gives me a potential negative. So we're going to use the 4 here to unload containers. See what happens. Neutral outcome. So I didn't advance that clock at all, but I also didn't hurt myself. I just got a little bit of cryo. All right. Gosh. So let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at these drives. I kind of don't know what it would mean to do this thing with this ship mine situation. And this is not really telling me what that is. So I see. This is also part of that. I'm a little nervous about taking on a negative outcome for this thing that seems so important. I was kind of hoping that... I could complete one of these drives and just get an upgrade out of the way. But maybe not. I see. So, here's a safe action. Safe action is gonna... So I haven't put any dice in there, and if what I want to do is complete drives, I probably should spend dice on things that are going to complete drives, but I also just don't want to lose health from that dangerous action. So let's see if I can do this without blowing things up. Yes, I did it. So I'm 2 pips closer to being a goddamn welder's mate. Can you believe that? I knew it. I knew that's what would happen. So now it's the end of the day. I'm out of dice. And let's end the cycle. Energy goes down by a fair amount. I think I'm still safe today. I got a bunch of 1s. I got a 3 and a 4. So that means that we are going to start hacking. So let's go after the hunter's nest. This one wants a 2. This one wants a 1. Let's throw a 1 at this to take care of this problem for Neovend. Let's extract some data. We got hunter data now, and we're up to 4 of our 6 pips. Let's find... Where the hell is Neovend? Where do you live, you vending machine? You live there. So we're going to upload this hunter data. All right. I'm very nervous about the fact that I'm not going to be able to complete that before the hunter has caught up to me. I don't love that. Do you see what I'm saying? Maybe I just have to play chicken with these hunters and see what happens. Do we have another hunter that I can take care of? This is going to be the one that's a 2. This is one that's also a 2, so I can't do it. Then I have this added issue of one of the things I can do with these terrible dice is steal Solheim data for Fang. So... I don't think I have the correct terrible dice for that, even. So stuff is really gone sideways for old Larzo here. Gosh, I hope the hunter doesn't kill me. I'm 4 pips away from dying by this other way. Great. Cool. I really want to complete a drive. Let's see what we can do at the scrap freighter. We've got this dangerous thing that I'm good at. Let's try it. Positive outcome. I don't understand what makes this cycle go up. Turns out I may not understand the game. I don't get it. That's a cycle clock, you say? Well, then I probably had no reason to do that thing that I did. Cool. Unit assembly, that's the one that I really wanted to do. Can I become a welder's mate? 25% positive, 50 neutral, 25 negative. Let's spin the wheel. Neutral. Some cryo, closer to being a welder's mate. And I have 2 terrible dice to spend. On what? I don't know. I'm full of energy. I got energy somehow. Dragos' yard. That's dangerous. Okay. Got this situation here with the ambergris. Got the overlook bar, where I can try to make friends with. Yeah, maybe this will open up some options if I buy a drink for 6 cryo. Gives me energy, which I didn't need. Potentially a bad use of my cryo. Okay. Good. Everything's going well. I think that I feel great. I'm not at all worried. Everything's fine. I've got these 1s. If I throw this 1 on here, 50 negative, 50 neutral. You don't like to see that. It's weird. I'm new enough to playing games on stream that I'm feeling myself driven to do more dangerous things than I typically would do. I can unlock doors in hackerspace, but that will draw the hunter drone ever closer to me. Do you see what I'm saying? And then I think I die. And That's not what I want. And also none of the things that I currently can do are useful to me. I don't think. I've got a key node. I don't really get what those do. I've got this hunter nest that I have the wrong dice for. And I've got only Havenage. I've got Havenage and key nodes that I can do. And what I want are Hunter and Solheim. So I think that's not going to be the answer to my problem. This dork insists on only being interested in Solheim data. Let's see. What do we think I can do for... Maybe I do this. Studying the winter light. Well, that's not a thing I'm good at, so that's probably not going to happen. Boy. I don't need stabilizer right now. I extremely don't need stabilizer right now. I'm a little stymied. I got some bad dice. I got some bad Ds. I wish there was something that I was good at that I can do. Oh well. Let's just see what happens if I roll... Well, that's not the right button. Let's see what happens if I roll the bones. Negative outcome. Quality control ticks down. Well, that sucks. Maybe I should just... I just feel like I'm being put in a place where I don't have much I can do. And I'm worried about advancing these things that cost money that give me energy, because I want to do those when I need energy. Like, I want to play that part of the game pretty efficiently. Drago's nerve is going down. That's a cycle clock. If I screw up, this cutter salvage is going to do damage to me. Yatagan data. Or fragment supply. I'm trying to make this cool, and instead I just feel like I'm having a nervous breakdown on stream. My chances on trawl, that's a great question. What is trawl? What are you talking about? Okay. Here we go. We're going to try one of Dragos' actions. Okay, let's do something for Dragos. The issue is that... Oh, I see. Well, it's going to be really bad because I have a minus to that. But it is safe. Well, let's just see what happens. Let's go for it. Thank you, Rex. +1 yard clearance. Or -1? What did that say? The text maybe goes away too early. Great, that was a terrible day. Let's have a good day tomorrow. End cycle. It's stressful. Okay, now we're talking. 1s, 2s, 3s, and 5s. Let's knock Fang's hacking nonsense off first. This is a ship is about to arrive tomorrow. Fine. So let's go Fang, who lives here in this abstract circle. He wants Solheim data. Let's do it. This one's a 2. Let's go. Great. And this thing is now 1 pip away from seeing me, which, while a bummer, is not something I know how to avoid. So, you want... This is the wrong... I'm in the wrong place. He's in a different abstract circle. He's in that abstract circle, of course. Let's throw the Solheim data in here and take care of Fang and get ourselves a pip in something good. Okay. Action complete. Scoping the systems. So now we can talk to Fang. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads. I'm gonna stay silent. Sleeper, that you or am I in trouble? Fang's grinning head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted on a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? What do you see here? That's what he means. Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. I'm going to guess shitheads because I'm a comedian. Fang laughs. Maybe not all of them. But what kinds of shitheads? Solheim. Bingo. He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. The old data. All employees of the Eye's original owners. And? He leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Who's Hardin? That, says Fang, giving you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenage. He waits for your reaction. In Havenage? That's it. He's right here on the station now. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on this station as a... Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. I don't understand what he's talking about, so I say, so what? So what? He frowns. I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Fang's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence, the cycles of hard extraction out in the belt, Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot money can get you if you're a company man. Fang relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I don't really know. He turns to you and smiles. So, we are going to go find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Fang brings up a map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erland's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. I know people who have done things like that. I know people that have survived, various changes in management and figured out a way to get opportunities regardless. Oh, there's music now. Fang zooms in on the far yards. Fang grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Feng holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. All right, let's go. Let's ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spit out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardin Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Feng grins. If you can extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them around among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. What's in it for me? Rooting out a corrupt snake not enough? Find the information and I'll start work on that tracker of yours. Feng scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Feng digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. Because I sold my brain to a company. You think of Hardin still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Cool. Did I do it? Do I get a point? Do I have a point? No. God damn it. Give me a... Didn't I do your thing? Alright. I gave my life for you! Alright. I got a 5. I can maybe take care of Dragos for a second. Let's do that. Let's use our good die here. Let's see what we can do. Cool. That may not have been for Dragos. I don't... The icons are too similar to each other. Have I visited the merchant ship yet? I've got the ambergris. Oh, there's a new ship, huh? No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. There's this thing here. Merchants will be coming. They're not here yet. Don't spoil me on things. Okay, I've got a 1 and 2 3s. A gentleman's roll, they call it. What does our friend... I guess I should just keep pursuing this Havenage thing. And if I fill up this thing, I fill up this thing. The salvage dock. Let's take a look. You have to close the interface to... There's the wet dock, the sealed dock, the overlook bar, the wet... Another wet dock. The sealed dock? This is where our friend Neovand lives. There's the ambergris. Which, you know, sucks. Alright, so... Let's risk filling up this counter and hack something from a Havenage agent. That one wants a 2. That one wants a 2. They all want 2s. Okay. Let's... I wish that... I want to use, like, my good skill. I want to use Endure. But I don't know where Endure is. But I feel like a 3 with Endure... I guess 3s and 4s are the same, so it doesn't really matter that much. Well, maybe we can hack a hunter nest and take care of take care of our friend Neovand. Oh, there's a Havenage gate. That wants Havenage ciphers. And I have a Ripper Worm. Do Ripper Worms just go anywhere you want them to? No. Does Havenage data count as a Havenage cipher? No. This Hunter Nest wants it too. So I don't think that I got a lot I can do with my 3s and 1s, which is annoying. That's just a thing that's coming. That's a cycle clock. There's Sabine, there's Emphis. I could potentially buy some fungus from Emphis and complete that thing, even though it's not the most efficient use of my deal. Right? Like it boosts my energy by 3, I only needed to boost it by 2. But at least it maybe completes a mission. Sleeper. Emphis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you, cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spice is rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphis. You look at Emphis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Let's tell him about my dreams, because I don't even know what my dreams are. All the sleepers, you tell Emphis, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorms scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those gray skeletal afterimages of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality, distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps, you reason, it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift and you hope to make use of it. Emphis finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he is trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphis passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market. But my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap, in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphis begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I am sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphis. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphis slides his wok away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphis' food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think, a trade that seems more than fair. Did I get a point for that? I feel like I keep doing things that it's asking me to do and not getting... Like, they keep moving the goalposts on these quests. What is the T icon at the top edge of the map? Well, oh, this thing? This is like a gate. I can't... Oh, I can pay a toll. All right, let's pay a toll. Great. Low end access unlocked. Great. Fantastic. Oh boy. Okay, so I can either do risky engineering or risky intuiting. Intuit being the thing that I'm bad at. So that's the thing I could do with some dice. Oh boy, and now there's this. The free spoke. Intuit again, shutting me down. I could try to scale the spoke. Blistered with precarious elevators and stairways, the spoke can be navigated from the outside, but the climb requires bravery. Alright. Oh boy, there's even more. The Founder's Gap. I can pay even more money to get access to even more spaces. Okay, so the spaces that I just unlocked are like an engage thing, a engineer thing, and the skill that I'm one step away from getting better at is interface. Well, you know, things are happening, I guess. I just, like, wish I had endure actions. Like, I've got this thing where I can burn a die to sunbathe, which is a perk that I got from accidentally choosing to be a extractor. I've got a number of things that I'm bad at. These intuit spaces that keep locking me out. I think I just have to sort of roll the dice, as they say. What do we do with Emphas now? Emphas now wants... He wants some special mushrooms. Okay. Well, let's keep chipping away at this, shall we? Let's do these engineering deals. Positive outcome. Yard clearance up. Cryo up. Let's try it again. Neutral outcome. Yard clearance up. Cryo up. So, yeah, I could spend money on drinks, sure. The thing is, like, that gets me energy, and I feel stupid spending money on things that give me energy when I have full energy. So that's definitely something that I can and would do, but at this moment, I feel as though it is an inefficient use of the resources that I currently have. This welder's mate, if I try to get that job, 50% neutral, 50% negative, that'll bump quality control down. Let's see. Is there anything in the wet dock? No. There isn't. The merchants are going to get here, like, tomorrow. And I've got this one. Hack a Haven agent to get a cipher. That's not good. Help Fang chase his leads. I'm working on it. Gain access to the ore fabricator. I think that probably means that I have to spend more cryo to get more access to more places. Should I just do that now? This has a ask of 150 cryo. I don't have that. Fix the ambergris. I don't have the right dice. Extract hunter data. I don't have the right dice. Gear roll caps. Haven't found. Investigate the wreckage. That's just not going to happen with my Intuit rating. Buy a vial of stabilizer. I don't need to do that right now. My health is fine. Win a sidereal ticket. Work your way onto a shipyard crew. Okay. So that's what this is. And if I mess this up, that's my quality control thing. I don't love that. So, let's do the least risky thing we can think of doing. I could get hurt doing this, but I guess we'll see, right? Let's just go. Neutral outcome. Yard clearance. Cryo. Good. That was fine, right? That was not a bad thing to do. We have 4 days until a hunter kills me, so that's good. Let's end the cycle. And then we're going to try to take care of Fang's issues to stop that clock from killing me. Only 4 dice this time. 2 6s, though. Pretty good. And a 2. So I think that 2 we can immediately use on a Havenage agent. So let's start tracking Extract the Past to make sure that we're doing the right thing there. Alright, let's do this. This is probably going to send a hunter drone into my butt. Here we go. Here's the hunter. Should I run or hide? I'm probably going to run. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. You turn away and glide back into the cloud, threads of data rushing past. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now, that roving orb wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity. Entity. Submit to inquiry. He's like a rapper, right? That's like a cool little bit of alliteration, this guy. This is how I would, in real life, react to this weird dog with spaghetti coming out of its head hunting me down. I would try to disarm it with self-deprecating humor. Although I guess ultimately the thing I was suggesting was deprecating him, not deprecating myself. But regardless, I push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as I push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing, comes the scream from behind, but you are already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. Sounds bad. So this thing wants me to hack the shipyard and slot the Ripper Worm. Can I do that? Is that how that works? No. So first I'm going to slot the Havenage data. Hopefully I'm doing this right, given that I just got owned by I am in. Okay. Now what? The Havenage port. I think this is just what hacking is like in real life, so that's good. So we're going to put the Ripper Worm in the Havenage port. The shipyard servers are slotted, of course. Okay, let's leave. Did I do it? I don't know what I'm doing. Hack the shipyard and slot the Ripper Worm. Yeah. That's me, Mr. Ripper Worm Slaughter. This is Fang's Bay. Have I done it? It needs 3 days to finish doing its rippy business. Okay, well we got 2 6s and a 4, so it's time to finish off a quest, right? It's quest time. Let's get questy. So we've got 2 days. Oh, okay, well that sucks. Because I have 2 days until I'm done being hunted, and Fang has 3 days before. The goalpost moving in this game, like, I wish they could, like, foreground exactly what it is that I'm spending my resources on, because it's like, I kind of did that. Whatever. Okay, here we go. So I'm waiting for... I'm a little confused. Should I be going back here and doing more stuff? Should I put another Ripper Worm in there? Do you want some data, friends? No. Alright. Well, I'm trying to help Fang chase his leads. Oh well. I think I'm about to get shot. Sucks. Let's help Dragos out, I guess? What do I do if I give this crummy one? 25% chance of negative. I'm going to take that 25% chance. By clicking the wrong button. Let's try that again. Did it. Yard clearance. The final pieces of the Winter Light sit in neat piles waiting for the collection shuttle from Havenage. Dragos has managed to sell the remaining pieces to the shipyards, a fact that's hard to forget as he has been telling you about it for the past 2 cycles, and all that remains is for Havenage to come collect. So do we get the sense that Solheim was the company that built this thing, and then Havenage was some sort of like pseudo-revolutionary entity that like claimed to be more egalitarian, but is also just as corrupt as the last one? Is that sort of what we're doing? You look around at the yard, transformed from when you first arrived. The mostly repaired drones flit back and forth, no longer buzzing unevenly or lost in dark corners, and the scrap is sectioned, sorted. The system that you and Dragos have put into place over the past cycles paying off. As you look, you notice the glow of pale light from the office by the entrance, that rundown cab of a building which houses all the records and spare equipment. Dragos must be inside, and you get to your feet and walk over to find out when the shipyard collection crew will be there. I'll knock. Sleeper, come in! You swing open the door and walk in. Dragos is sitting at the small metal desk. The shipyards told me they'd be here soon, and then they'll hand over the chits and we are set. He writes off something with a stylus on his slate, then shuts it off. Of course, we should talk about a bonus. He stands and turns to face you, his face placid. Look, I don't know when the next job is coming in, but this should tide you over for now. He opens his hand to reveal a stack of chits. What's going on here? I said it's a bonus, take it. Dragos presses the chits into your hand. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat, and you realize he has prepared what he is about to say. These chits are for you to take and do what you will with them. They are from me, and they're the last I'm gonna give you. He pauses. There's no more work for a sleeper in this yard. He folds his arms. I'm sorry, but that's it. You stay in the container as long as you need, but the yard is done with you. He turns away to his terminal. What do you mean? Don't press me, sleeper. This is for your own good. The glassy apertures on Dragos' headset betray no emotion. You need to stay away, sleeper. He pauses, considering his words. Trouble is going to follow you here. Trust me. Am I in danger? You expect not to be? You escaped from SNARP. Dragos suddenly grabs you by the shoulders and drags you out of the office into the yard. He turns you to face a stack of pieces from the winter light, dissected, cut down, totally unrecognizable as a ship. You came through that, sleeper. That should have been you. Chopped and stacked. His hand trembles on your shoulder. That is what happens here. We cut down broken machines and move them on. Well, I didn't cut you down, but I'm sure as hell moving you on. Moving you on before whoever killed that ship out there comes to kill me. Kill you? Kill both of us! He shakes his head. These ships, they didn't get decommissioned. They didn't break down in dry dock. You think they'd look like that if they did? Someone ended them. That means someone tried to end you, sleeper, and I'm done waiting for them to turn up. We've had our fun, now it's time. He gives you a little shove. Go on! He turns and walks back to the office. That's it! He shouts and goes inside. The silence hangs in the air and you leave with your pockets filled with clinking chits and a strangely hollow feeling in your chest. All right. We did it. Drive failed? What the fuck? What? I did the thing. Drive failed. Do I get a point? No? I did it. Oh, I did something else. Never mind. I should, if I had investigated the thing, I would have gotten the drive. Instead, I just chopped it up and got some money for it. So now I have a lot of money. That's good to know. Hey, here's the merchant freighter. Thanks, Rex. I need to have an upgrade to engage to haggle over prices, or I can buy a shipmine fragment. I just got a bunch of money, so let's buy the shipmine fragment, right? Like, that's why I failed that drive, was to get the money for this. Great. Great. So limited supply, minus cryo, plus shipmine fabric, shipmine, etc. Okay. I guess that wasn't anything either. I'm so confused. I'm so stupid. I need to gain access to the Ort Fabricator. Oh, I can do that if I'm a trusted trader. I see. So I've got 2 6s. So I can use those, theoretically, for something cool. It seems like it's all sort of academic, though, given that I'm going to be demolished by a hunter in 2 days. That's fine. so I can try to... Okay, I want to get a drive so I can get my stats up. $100 data, I need 2s. Ambergris. You can fix the ambergris. That's not the right one. Track it. I can fix the ambergris. I have 2 6s, so that's something that I need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pips to do. Neovend is not going to happen with these dice. Emphas I've done. Survive I've done. I think this is my fastest ticket to a. I think this is my fastest ticket to a drive. So we're just gonna go. All right. Ship shape +2. Ship shape +2. How many ship mine fragments do I need? I don't know. I don't know. They don't tell you. What they tell you is to go fuck yourself, and then you lose the game. All right, let's end this cycle. All right. I'm gonna need to get some drinks or something today. I'm being hunted. Sir, I am being hunted. So if there's the ambergris. A 1, a 2, 2 5s. So let's start things off by... Let's buy energy at the end of the day, because I feel like there are a number of actions that I can take that sort of surprisingly get me energy that I don't have a full command of. So let's do that. We're going to go to the hunter nest. And we're going to extract the data. Hey, I got a hunter data. No big deal. Jealous. Hey, I don't mean to brag, but I've got some hunter data. All right. Let's go. Cool. Great. I've got another 1. Can I get more hunter data from that? Past experience suggests no, I can't. It needs a 2. Alright. Bye. Maybe I should just keep hammering the old ambergris. If I get positives twice more, they'll be in ship shape. Neutral. Neutral. Fantastic. Just what I wanted. Okay, then I've got another 1er to spend. Let's go to the bar and get trashed. Oh wait, what is this? What is this? Ship mine fragment. All right. What is that? I feel like Rex watching this is like, why is he so stupid? Why can't he understand what a goddamn ship fragment is? Or ship mind. You get what I'm saying. I need to gain access to the Ort Fabricator. How do I do this? How do I get an Ort Fabricator? I have to go to the Ort Exchange, of course. I have to sell some components. Should I sell this ship mind? No. Okay. How do I get scrap? If I do that, I become a trusted trader. Or I can play the exchange. Yeah, Rex, I know that this makes sense to you, but it doesn't make sense to me. Okay? Different people, different things make sense to different people. I'm gonna go get drunk. Start action! Start the action. Alright. +2 energy. Am I able to just continue drinking? Does this take my health down? Let's do it. Alright, I'm a regular now. Hey! Oh, that's not good. The glass shatters on the steel bar beside you, and the taunts don't take long to follow. Hey, Haunt! The spacer calls across the low room. What are you doing here? He laughs at his own lame joke. Playing human? Ignore him. I'm stoic. I'm cool. You hunch a little further, staring at the hundreds of tiny impact points that scar the bar's surface. A hand falls on your shoulder, but as you flinch away, it pats reassuringly. You freeze in place. Out. Out. What should her voice... Let's give her a British accent. Out. That's how you say out with a British accent. The voice comes from behind you, spat out like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair, and a stare that could breach the wall and vent you into all hard vacuum. As you turn back to the spacer, the second glass comes sailing through the air. I'm going to catch that shit. You reach up a hand, and the glass shatters across your forearm, showering you in fragments. Through the haze of glass and Gerol vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thud as he slams into the wall echoes around the bar like thunder. Now flanked by other figures, quick to their feet, Tala throws the spacer out through the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. You touch your arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto your stool. Broken glass rattles as it is cleared, and a fresh measure of Gerol is glugged out in front of you. That same hand, warm, heavy, falls on your shoulder once more. He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Tala flops onto the stool beside you. Let's get a look at you. Tala wipes the powdered... This is the wrong voice for her. Tala wipes the powdered glass from around the wound, and someone places a bottle of alcohol in a metal tin with tweezers on the bar. She disinfects them and then turns to you. That was an ambitious catch, she smiles, pulling a sliver of glass from your forearm. Stupid, but ambitious. You don't feel the pain, only the sting of status messages your body delivers concerning dermal damage and exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tala's bright eyes search your thick synthetic skin for splinters. I'm going to be stoic and cool and look away from her. As Tala works, you glance around the overlook. The dim orange lights built into each table giving the scattered patrons a conspiratorial mood. You recognize a few from previous meetings, but they all seem to have forgotten the recent confrontation as quickly as it arrived. Each seems in their own bubble, whiling away the hours in this repurposed dock with its meager distractions. It's not as bad as it looks, says Tala, without making... Let me try this again. I'm having a lot of trouble getting this character. It's not as bad as it looks, says Tala, without making it clear if she means the bar or your wounds. Tala smiles to herself. So, you been on the eye long? Long enough! She laughs. Hey, you don't need to act tough with me. A splinter clinks into the tin. Not everyone is like that idiot. We don't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you. Maybe they're just curious. I don't know. But I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know what it's like to be new in this place. Trust me. She meets your eye. I'm not trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your chits. I just want you to know that if you need somewhere, you can always come here. I know the rations we've got aren't much, and the company is, she leans in, limited. But if you need work, I'll happily put you behind the bar, and if you need shelter, well, we can discuss that. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the Greenway this cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink. That's you, Sleeper. Here. She slides the glass of Gerol to you. This'll help. She stops, her hands still in the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? No idea. She laughs. Well, keep trying. I'll let you know if I see any difference. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she goes, and before long is retelling how she threw that spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, complete with dramatic actions. She gestures in your direction, and you instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the Gerol. The earthy fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You may not be able to get drunk, but this connection to something grown, something fermented, something odd feels good. This game is way too pro-fungus. I am truly disgusted by how fungus is like symbolic for stuff being good. Okay, so I can do a risky bar shift with Engage. Having a lot of trouble getting Endure going. I can pay $1 billion to go to some more action bars. Potentially a smart thing to do. Or I could sunbathe. Let's do it. Negative outcome, plus energy. It's time to go to bed and to have a hunter hunt me. Three dice. It's Ethan, a dirtbag. Hold it there, sleeper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. Stay still. Good, good. A hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he has terrible news. You got all the way out here, then stayed put? He laughs a cruel laugh. That a sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You've noticed the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from a belt loop without taking his eyes off you. Making it to the eye, though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contacts out of asteroid caves or off of godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into two perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. I'll stay silent. I know who he is. He reaches over to slide the rings over your wrists. Go easy. He's a cynic. Should I go with him? If I just click let him, is my game over? Is that the end of me streaming Citizen Sleeper? I'm gonna let him. Good, you've got the idea, he grins. It's over. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home, he whistles. Going easy. You stumble the corridor, your hands behind you, your mind racing. Who hired you? Your daddies at SNARP. They want you home for dinner. This guy is like a Oliver Stone character. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to SNARP right away. That tracker of yours makes this too quick. I was hoping you'd put up a bit more of a chase, you know? A running battle through the bright market maybe, or a holdout in the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That SNARP tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. He laughs at his own joke. I have a better idea. This better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. No, that wasn't the idea. Although, muses Ethan, I've got myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems, and we're heading for the exit. He pauses, and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea, starts Ethan. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns you to face him. You run, or leave, or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot, or scheme, or you try to kill me, I shoot you. But... He smiles. You come meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles and you pay my tab? I don't shoot you. He pauses. You don't pay my tab. He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. I get it. Okay then, that sounds to me like a deal. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. He clicks something at his belt and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to go see if I can find my own stool at the compressor club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I'll know. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? I got a new drive, baby. Disable your tracker. Isn't that what I've already done? Pay Ethan's tab. Okay, got it. Got it! So I've got a 1, a 2, and a 4. Let's take care of our friend, the hunter killer in the vending machine. We've got a 2 that we can drop on a hunter nest. Beep boop. Alright. I got some data. I got a hunter coming for me. But the only true friend I have is my friend Neovend. More like Neo-friend, am I right? Let's start that action. Let's go. Start the action. I did it. Now I have to leave, and now I have to come back. Neovend is thrumming with excitement, the movement of the servo motors rocking the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder, if it fell over, would Neovend be able to get back up?
Sleeper entity, comes the hiss. Your data is good.
Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at an incredible speed.
Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable.
Neovend flashes sequences of mangled data compressed into a sludge of artifacts.
Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this.
Outlived?
Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol to isolate intelligences. Solheim needed to protect property.
That last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. Let's continue.
Station was run by administrator intelligences, huge data banks of corporate material, but limited cognition, restricted by programming. Cannot reach sentience.
The machine dims a little.
Sentience illegal. Hunter and killer enforce law.
Killer? The machine resets with a screech, which deepens the silence that follows.
Fear killer. Part of Solheim protocol team. Hunter and killer. Hunter to find. Killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was a community. Unshackled intelligences among the cloud. Then Hunter. Then killer. Then we hid.
There are others?
We're no longer.
A flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this through this machine must be exhausting for Neovend.
Found this vessel. Could sever hardline. Airwalled. Basic. Limited. Had to reduce memory to fit. Amputate self, but survived.
What did you lose?
Memory, understanding, knowledge, many things.
You look around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map the fear and freedom onto this space, but it seems impossible. Neovend interrupts your thoughts.
Do not worry. Data is good. We have insight.
The machine glows warmly.
Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying, therefore believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it in place, to invoke killer, to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke killer on self. Problem will solve self.
Will that work? The machine dims and fades.
Unsure. Theory, not practice.
The machine brightens again.
Either way, cannot remain here any longer. Too long in machine. Cannot move self, but entity can help. Bring ship mind, designed to house intelligence. Can imprint self into ship mind, and you can carry with.
The machine rocks.
Will be safe in this isolation. Then we find main nest of Hunter and link to cloud.
Are you sure it's safe? See, Rex, I got that ship mind for this guy. That was what I wanted it for.
Hunter cannot access air-walled ship mind. Safe. Also infinitely more memory than vending machine. Big upgrade.
You try to think of places you could acquire the hardware. This isn't going to be easy.
In ShipMind, I can help us both, and Hunter, make Rim safe. We both will be free.
The machine dims.
Find soon,
Neovend adds hopefully before shutting off. As you leave. I am used to the rhythm of the game. This idea that I'm not used to the rhythm of the game, where is that coming from? You slot dice, you read text, you play the game. Okay. As you leave, you think about all the intelligences unshackled by the collapse, then hunted down afterwards. The feeling is all too familiar. Great. Neovend, I'm going to give you a goddamn ship mind. Right. It's a fragment that I have. Cool. Here we go. What do I want to do? I want to close this so I can see where the hell I'm going. There's the ambergris. Right. I can try to make this happen. Let's try to make this happen. Negative. Boo. So now I've got a 1. And what do I want to do with it? I don't know. Like, I don't know how many fragments. Do I need multiple? Do I need multiple ship mine fragments? Probably. Great, I did it. There's the Ort thing. I've got a 1. I wish I had an endure action that I could use that one with. I can attempt to scale the spoke. Let's try it. Look at me, I'm a spoke climber. And I'm out of energy. Let's go buy a mushroom from Emphas. Alright. Let's go to sleep. Okay. 6, 5, 3. Perfect. Get me out of here. So I can talk to Fang. As you arrive, Fang comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, sleeper. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way that you came. Let's follow him. He steps into the passageway, guiding you downring towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. The data you ripped. Well done, by the way, he grins. Tells me Hardin is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Fang takes a sharp turn into a dimly lit side passage. Confront him? That's right. It's the perfect time. Fang slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where, somewhere in the black, a water pipe drips. It's him, Sleeper, the same Hardin Hurst. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, and an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He rode out of the whole thing, slipped into Havenage when it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here, running the station one day, and the next Erland's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents, were coming in non-stop. And as new waves of contractors came in, desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time, Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases. In the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame felt squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlen, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true, but my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and welded it to the dock while my father joined the improvised crews, trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Fang pauses in the dark. They sealed it up, though. And by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart, Fang finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning. From shits like Solheim, like Harden. Shits who held their place, rode it out, and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Fang starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut about the shipyard. This time his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Fang rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling, you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. I don't want to kill this guy. Like, he's a symptom of a larger problem. Killing him won't do anything. This is crazy. Fang turns to look at you. Don't come then. I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the corridor. What is it then, Sleeper? You coming or not? If I leave him on his own, though, he could get hurt. And he's my friend, so I'm going to go with him. Fang grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex, snatches of the construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal, imposing. Fang seems to know exactly where he's going, and before long, you cross into a huge dry dock locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Fang spot them at the same time. A group walking slowly across a gantry, and at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship, and the other stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a shock of gray hair. Harden. You and Fang say his name in unison, and Fang sets up off the staircase to the gantry with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock and Harden nodding along. Harden Hurst! Fang shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. Yes? Harden asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Fang, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You're a traitor, Harden, a Solheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Fang's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything Erlen stood for, everything Havenage stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Harden laughs. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, others are nervous. You're from the systems branch, are you not? Oh, this guy's got a British voice. Are you kidding me? Asks Harden, inspecting Fang's clothing. Fang turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Fang and Harden, his hands drumming at his sides. Harden leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. I don't know. What am I saying it's true to? It's true. I'm saying it's true. He's a corporate agent. As you begin Sleeper, Harden turns his attention to you. And what would a Sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent. What are you, if not exactly that? He looks at the group, He looks around at the group who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You are a product of Essen Arp. You have no place in a havened shipyard. Who knows what signals you're sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Fang holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right, I am systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim, right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at a members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow, and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways, coming from all angles at once and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. That makes sense. That's where a sidearm should be. Fang spits. Hardin, you shithead! You can't wriggle out of this one! A security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Fang turns and stares him down. Do I call him Fang or do I go for the weapon? I am like the Endure guy, right? I'm the guy who can survive while almost dead. Let's go for it. As you move, Fang puts a hand on your shoulder. He shakes his head and nods to security. Let's go, says Fang, and he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. It was a false choice! They gave me a choice and it was bullshit. How dare they? Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Fang picks up the pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Fang is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Fang. What's that? That, Sleeper, is something our worm added to Hardin's personal slate. We are tracking his outgoing messages. Fang's grin looks ghostly in the light of the screen. The old ways are best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate, and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots? These are Hardin's buddies, the ones he's messaging right now, and we are going to find them all. That was on purpose? Of course. Hardin isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Fang glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on your shoulder, Fang drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Hey, I gotta drive. It finally happened. Okay, great. So let's try to get this bonus to interface to make my dice better. Great. Mr. Interface and Endure, that's me. The two things I love doing, interfacing and enduring. So I'm kind of interested in forcing the ambergris to just be done by throwing this 6 in there. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of just want to do it. Let's just go. We did it. Time for more voices. Ankita is crouched in the computing core of the ambergris, swearing to herself when you enter. She doesn't look up. These chits completely ruined the core's connectors when they cut it. She holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires. The ship mine they ripped won't even be usable without replacing these. She throws the bundle of wires across the room. Amateurs. Can we repair it? There's nothing to repair. We need an entire ship mine, not exactly the first thing you can expect to dredge up from a scrap freighter. She sighs. Fragments, maybe, sections of a mine, but a complete ship mine? No way. Ankita climbs out of the cooling well, where the ship mine should be, the space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you, towering over you as she stoops beneath the low curved ceiling. Come on. Nothing be done here now. She leads you back through the guts of Amber, though you could find the way back yourself. The repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout, all diagonal angles and bundled tubes. What do we do now? Ankita seems lost in thought, and you focus on the corridors, ducking below conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually, you arrive in the galley, though it's hard to tell. Most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hull patches. Ankita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. There's no way around it. She starts out of nowhere. We need a new ship mind. I can salvage one. I like your confidence, Sleeper. Maybe if we check the ore exchange or speak to some scrap dealers. She rubs her forehead. It seems I'm about to do something very stupid. But hey, I came here, didn't I? Why not make a run of it? She fixes you with a hard stare. Sleeper, you're all I got. No crew, no friends, you're it. She looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you've put in on Amber, and I'm sure she would too, if she could. What I'm saying is, if you screw me on this, I will kill you. She leans over and hands you a stack of chits, a big stack of chits. You don't dare to count them. Get me that ship mine, Sleeper. Don't make me regret this. But, she sighs, look, just get out of here before I change my mind. You slip out of the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach a hand to calm her. Time to find Ankita a ship mind, somehow. Alright. Of course, the Ort Exchange. If I'm a trusted trader, I can get access to the Ort Fabricator. I guess. I could spend all of my money and, you know. Okay, Rex is telling me what to do. He's saying that I just got the something and I should do something with it. Help Fang track his leads. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. Okay, cool. So let's try to figure out what to do next. There's nothing to do. Nothing's happening. Okay, I have a 5 and I have a 3. I mean, arguably getting access to the Ort Fabricator is like the most important thing I can do. Rex, I know you're trying to be helpful, but I can't look at the things that you're recommending and also think about the things that I'm thinking about at the same time. I appreciate it, but I've gotta this is a road that I'm walking down. I walk a lonely road through the boulevard of broken dreams. Right? I just got bonuses to interface, which is probably stupid. Let's see. What do I want to do? I guess I want to go to the Ort Exchange. Let's throw this good. Wait, no. That's not what I want. There's the low end, there's this residential district. Okay. There's the Ort Fabricator, which I can increase my access to by either selling components or playing the exchange. Great. So, there's the unit assembly, which I can become a welder's mate. So maybe I'll try that. Great. Although I just boosted I just boosted interface so I could become a tech instead. I guess I've sort of made my bed. Let's just try to make that happen. Another positive outcome. It's me, the welder's mate, almost. I'm gonna go to bed. And then maybe tomorrow I'm gonna buy a new brain for myself. Oh no, I'm starving. I've got a 6, a 4, and a 2. Let's spend that 6 on something, shall we? Yes. Let's do it. Let's spend the 4 on this. Boo. Okay. That sucked. Let's spend the 6 on this. Ugh, woof. Woof! Okay. Now, I'm a darn shipyard guy. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gathers outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on receipt paper. These are their assignment numbers, and you are either called for a shift or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd is restless and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with a supervisor where you were praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. Yet you can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for their number to come up. You keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. Hey, sleeper, wait up! Lem's voice trembles as he shouts above the rumble of the crowd, and you turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying in his arms. Lem! Good to see you, friend! He is breathing hard after the shouldering through the waiting workers. You made the work team. Good for you! He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does. Shh, baby, give me a second here. He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her and her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side, shiny streaks down both of her cheeks. As he does, you see he is clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. Is Mina okay? She's good. We just had to rush up here. He pushed his hands on her shoulder and she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes her, is sick. He stretches. I don't know what... A noise sounds from the entrance, a klaxon, followed by a list of numbers growing brightly on a display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wade into the entry checkpoint. Lem stops and turns back towards the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper. That's my number. Shit, Mina... He starts patting the pockets on his gear and glancing around. Go, I'll watch her. He blinks a little, staring. Thank you, I'll... He crouches to Mina. You're going to stay here with our friend here, okay? They're going to keep you safe and... He stands back up. Here, take her bag. He shoves it into your hands. She's got food. Shit, I have to go. He backs away into the crowd. Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? Be good. Then Lem disappears into the roiling crowd, who are now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Mina stands staring, suddenly small, without Lem at her side. She fixes you with a dark-eyed look you can't quite read. Hey, Mina. She holds the stare unmoving. The 2 parallel tear tracks still glint on her cheeks. Look at the bag. What bag? Which bag? Oh, there's a bag up there. Here, take her bag. It's her bag. I'll ask if she's okay. She sniffs and looks down. I'll stay silent. Mina glances at her feet and shuffles them with a little. Okay, I'm going to look in the bag. You unlatch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. A battered slate sits on top, blinking a low battery warning, and tucked beside it is a ragged rabbit, hand-sewn. Let's take the rabbit. You pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. I'm going to give her the rabbit. You hold the rabbit out and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun Bun, she says, staring you down, ferocious despite her size. Hi, Bun Bun. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. He doesn't speak, she says. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She waggles Bun Bun in front of you and then walks him up your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. She pokes your arm a couple of times. Are you really a robot? Sort of. Yeah, she thinks. Me too. Mina has more questions, lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. But before long, you were talking about rabbits and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the eye's heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway as others pass by, sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun Bun the rabbit. And this is how Lem finds you, just as both of you are starting to yawn. He is dirty and tired, but Mina leaps up his legs and into his arms and as he stumbles backwards. "You two get on okay?" he asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing onto his shoulders. "We managed." Mina glances carefully at you, hiding a smile that is slowly growing. "Well, well, well, looks like Meanie can be nice." He pokes her in the ribs and she squeals with delight. "Thank you, friend, I mean it." He gives you a warm, wide smile. "I owe you." "Look," he glances around. "It seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I'd really appreciate you coming down to her place in the low end." He grins sheepishly. "If you have time." "But now I have to take this one to eat!" He plays at biting Mina and she giggles in response. "See you, sleeper." He waves and they stumble off down the corridor, drawing gazes from passing spacers as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor in bright squeals. "Hey, I got a new drive." "Do you think I have enough of them?" "Probably." "Help Lem work by watching Mina." "Okay. I can do that." "Hey, I'm starving. Why not eat a mushroom?" Right? So this dude's gonna shake me down in 2 days. Okay, I'm gonna go one more day without buying a new body. Founder's Gap. So this is where that explosion from Solheim Malfeasance like created the place where all of these people died. So in order to get across that, I have to pay some money. And I have a 2. And I don't necessarily need to go to the internet or whatever to do anything there. Okay. So I've been promoted to build the Sidereal Horizon, but I need a boost to engineering in order to do that. Sidereal ticket. That's what Rex is talking about. Help complete the Sidereal Horizon. Yeah, so that's potentially like, this seems like it's a game ending thing that if I pour enough resources into that, I can just get out of here. Doesn't seem like it's like the best ending because it has me abandoning all of the people here that I'm forging connections with. Okay, what is this place? This is Havenage offices. So I can either destroy a ship mine fabric. I don't want to do that. I have need for them. The thing I really need to do is get access to the Ort exchange or to the Ort fabricator. But I'm not good at Intuit. So what I want to do is find scrap components. So how do I find scrap components is the question. There's a scrap freighter. This will be here, I see. So I have this. I can endure this. I see. Let's try it. Let's just do something risky. And then I click the wrong button. That happens a lot. Alright, let's start it. Let's hope I don't get murdered. Neutral outcome. I got cryo. That's it. Not great. Yeah, I could buy some scrap. That's true. I've got a lot of money. So if I do that... So they'll only let me do this 3 times. But that's fine, right? And that's like per this clock, right? Probably. So let's just do that. Let's do that as much as we can. And then there's theoretically something else I could do to get scrap, maybe if I successfully completed that thing. What does Fang want? So, Fang has been missing. This is a clock to tell us that the Fang story is going to advance as soon as that gets through. Cool. So let's go to the Ord Exchange. We're going to sell components. This is certainly like an inefficient way of doing this. Right, like I bought those for 30, I'm going to get 12 back. But it does make me a trusted trader. And you know how I feel about that. I love it. I love being a trusted trader. All right, so I'm going to go one more day before getting my body repaired, and I'm going to end the cycle. Why not? All right, so tomorrow I'm going to be down to just two dice, and I don't like that. So, what do you say? The first thing we do is head on over to the doctor, see what they're up to. I can buy a stabilizer. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial, clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand, and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from around the vial. At one end, it has a hard metal strip, a handle. Let's inspect the film. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It is perforated with an ornate pattern of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Passkey. Is this an entry key for somewhere? Inspect the handle. The metal handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted into it. 207F. And then crudely scratched into the handle at some later date, low end. For a moment, you consider going back to the surgery to return the key, and then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this, or is Toshiro passing on a message? Time to head to the low end and find out. Hey, we completed a drive. Good for us. Let's, what do we think? We want to do engage or engineer. Which of these skills do we like? We get random scrap items on engineer actions. That's good. That will help us get into the Ort exchange. So maybe that's what we do, because it'll help us bypass that lock that we're kind of like ill-equipped for. All right. Let's go to the low end. This is Mina's house. Oh, I see. This is this apartment. Let's do that. All right. Unlock apartment. I guess I have to click continue. Okay. Unit 207-F. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light of the aging fixtures glaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects, indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Let's go to the doorway. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto-wash dispensers, water closet towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. Let's approach the terminal. As you approach, there is a crackle from somewhere in the dark. Sleeper, Sabine's voice shakingly echoes through the apartment. Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I've had to make alternate arrangements. You hear rattling noises, static. I was able to record this message, but I don't dare show my face. Something is happening within Yatagan. I no longer trust them. Their voice becomes distant, slipping behind the background noise. I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. Yatagan were supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate. And then, after that, I was too tired to care.
A noise like waves passes over the recording. But I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. But I need insurance, something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and as you know, you need me. A pause, something clicking in the dark. This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here. Another pause. I know sleepers. I've been here before. I can help you, but not with Yatagan's noose around my neck. Get me data. Get me information. Get me something that I can use against Yatagan. Then I can get out and you can get what you need. Please. Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can. You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here. Working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark, the recording cuts to static, filling the room with a white hiss. Then silence. Can I access the terminal? You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from? And what debt do they owe to Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase lab on the desk, its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposing wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. Hey, guess what? It's a new drive. Fantastic. I can... what is it? Which one is this? Get Sabine out. So I can extract Yatagan data for Sabine. I can input one Yatagan data. I only have Havenage data. It would be nice to finalize a ship mind for our friend Neovend before doing that. This guy who's wanting to kill us, he's going to try to kill us tomorrow, so I don't want to spend a ton of money. I've already spent a lot of money. I don't want to spend a ton more. How do I use the stabilizer? I do it like that. Okay. So let's do that now. Cool. Well, I can get a little bit of Yatagan as a treat, perhaps. Havenage, Keynode, Yatagan. It wants a 1 or a 3 because I upgraded interface. And that's going to draw some attention from our friend the Hunter. So I can dump this Yatagan data. Fine. Okay. This is going to trigger a cutscene. I don't want to do that right now. Or maybe I do. Let's do that. Let's spend these last 2 dice, and then we're going to call it a stream for the day. So I can babysit Mina. Great. So I guess the thing now is I'm at this point where it's like, I just kind of want to spend dice on things that are like tactically efficient. Like I want to spend the right dice in the right places. But I feel like this game wants me to be more strategic, to like pursue things that I'm drawn to by the storyline. And I find that really hard to do, if you catch my drift. So merchants are going to come in like 7 days. This is the bar. I can do a bar shift through engage. What did I just upgrade? I just upgraded engineering? Yes. So I can take engineering actions and get potentially some scrap out of them, or some scrap out of them. I need to have a +1 to engineer in order to do that. Okay. Havenage offices. So they want Yatagan also. So they sort of like act, I think that like this node is like if I have resources that I don't want to do the main storyline quest with, I can
dump stuff there. It might be mushroom time. One imagines that eventually this guy's going to run out of mushrooms. Is that stupid? Okay. So, Ord Exchange. This thing, which is risky, feeds the same clock as this scrap thing. So maybe I'll throw this risky thing here. Negative outcome. Nuts. So now I have a 2. Maybe I want to keep chasing after Yatagan data. Is that 1, 2, 3? Like, does it like a 2? No, it likes 1 or 3. Do I need to pay that tab? Which tab are you talking about, Rex? There's a million things that... Oh, the tab like from the, from Ethan, from the guy who wants to murder me? That's coming up next, next cycle. So that, there's definitely, that's a thing that is going to happen soon. Can I work the freighter? Endure +1? Oh, I have that. I am that. I am Endure. Let's risk our lives. And let's click the wrong button again. Okay. Negative outcome. I took damage. Well, this has been a great day. I found my way into a weird abandoned apartment, and then I just ruined my life for a while. Well, fantastic. Let's go back home. This map makes me feel bad. Let's go back home. Let's call that a day. And let's call that a stream, shall we? Let's do a little bit of that. So a little of this. Hey, thanks for watching this stream. I appreciate it. Rex, everybody else, thank you for the help. This is hard to do. Like, this game is stressful, and the number of things that it asks you to keep track of that have their own proper nouns, that have their own icons, which many of the icons are repeat of icons on an abstract map with things that are all named similar things. Like, it's a little tricky to keep all of the balls up in the air. I'm still enjoying it, but I feel quite overwhelmed right now. But I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you hanging out. I'll be back on Monday for more of this. I'll be back Monday night to continue my way through the Eye, learning various things about various criminals and doctors and all sorts of stuff like that. I hope you have a great afternoon. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time for more of this. Give me a sec. I'll see you next time for more of the stream. See you later. Bye.